Hello Wildcats, I'm Colin Smith.
And I'm Magda Kreuzpointner.
In today's Rewind, we'll be checking in on our Wildcat athletics as they hunt through the spring season.
And we'll dive into some new previews and a new episode of Bombs of Bulky. Without further ado,
welcome to the Wildcat Rewind.
On Wednesday, April 22nd, the United lacrosse team had a Bay Valley Conference matchup against the Oneida Nation Thunderhawks. The team was filled with injuries, and the spotlight was on the remaining juniors and sophomores. They stepped up and delivered an exciting game, flying away with the win 8-4. On Friday, April 24th, the United traveled down to Moraine to take care of unfinished business from last season. The United jumped out to a quick lead 2-0 and kept the pressure on, but in the end dropped the game 12-6. The United looked to travel back home on Thursday, April 30th against Pulaski. Jumping from the field to the diamond, our attention shifts to softball.
For the girls softball team, their week began in dramatic fashion, winning a thriller 11-10 in 10 innings against the Kaukauna Ghost. The Wildcats were 0-10 against Kaukauna since April of 2022, including a 11-0 loss from last season. However, the Wildcats fought from deficits 3 separate times and were able to capture the win on the 10th inning. On the 23rd, West traveled to Kimberly to face off against the Papermakers, falling short 11-4. The Cats' bats were aided with multi-hit nights from Colleen Fitzpatrick and Leah Lipinski. To wrap up the ladies' week, they faced off against the Patriots in Appleton on Friday, April 24th, and the Wildcats smoked the Patriots 17-6, led by 3 hits from Colleen Fitzpatrick and Izzy Kramer, and 2 hits from Lexi Monroe, Sam Frank, and Leah Lipinski. Now let's double down on the diamond and see what baseball has for us.
The boys' baseball team had a rough stretch against 2 of the top teams in the FVA. Losing at home to Kaukauna on the 21st, 11-0, the boys then went up to Kimberly on the 23rd, 15-5. The boys then traveled to take on the 6th best in the state, West Bend West. In the beginning, the game was close, with the Wildcats losing 5-4. Unfortunately, the game got out of hand, with the Wildcats losing 14-4. The boys are looking to turn it around with 2 games at home this week. The first being on Tuesday the 28th against Hortonville and wrapping up the week on Thursday the 30th against crosstown rival Oshkosh North. Good luck, boys!
The boys started this week out on Tuesday, April 21st in a matchup at home against Appleton North in a loss 5-2. The boys bounced back on Thursday with a win 5-2 against Appleton West. The next day, the team headed down to the Capitol for the Madison Invite, where they started out playing Kettle Moraine and fell 4-3. They then played Madison East, where they pulled away a victory 4-3, and the team ended the day with a loss with another score of 4-3 against Sun Prairie United. The boys woke up early on Saturday to play Homestead, falling 6-1, and followed up with a matchup against Brookfield Central, where they took a tough loss 7-0. Now, from the courts to the green, let's take a look at boys golf.
On Tuesday, April 21st, the boys' golf team had their first conference meetup of the season against Oshkosh North at West Haven Golf Course. Unfortunately, they fell short and lost 166-156. Junior Tyler Malgren finished with a 39 and shot the second best score overall. The boys hope to bounce back as they prepare for a busy week of conference meets next week.
On Friday, April 24th, the track team traveled down to Monona Grove to take on multiple teams for the John Clement Invitational. Exceeding expectations once again, Kylie Treebolt took first place in the 400 with a time of 57.35. She also took a first in the 200 with a time of 25.14, closely followed by Sydney Nelson in third place. Sydney then went on and took yet another first place in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 14.44. Another hurdle win was secured by Camille Phillips, who took first place in the 300-meter hurdles with a time of 47.58. 3 days later, the Wildcats traveled to Kaukauna to take on 3 other teams in the Kaukauna Quad. The 100-meter podium was completely swept by West, with Sydney Nelson placing first with a time of 13.22, followed by Kylie Treebolt, Kiana Turner, and Emma Leebergen. Another familiar face, Abby Tersha, secured a victory in the 3,200-meter with an impressive time of 12.628. For field events, Nora Pakula took a first place in the discus with a throw of 110 feet 8 inches. Now let's see what the season will hold for our girls.
Okay, so now I'm here with Coach Fisher, who's been coaching the girls team for now, how many years?
4?
Yes, 4 years. And I have some questions for you today.
Okay.
And are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, then let's go. So, first of all, I want to ask you, what's different this season from last season?
This season, we're having a lot more focus on the intention behind what we do, and that includes both on the coaching side and the athlete side.
That's great. Yeah. Do you have any athletes we should look out for this season?
Yeah, we have a lot of returning athletes this year. Our two-time state champion in 100-meter hurdles, Sydney Nelson, is returning, going for win number 3. We also have our state qualifying 4x2 relay. Everyone will be returning. And then a lot of girls from the cross-country team had really great cross-country season, so we'll be looking for Abby Tersha, who was a sectional qualifier last year. And then Emma Lieberg and Cam Turner are making some really big gains in the jumps.
Are there anything you're doing differently this season in training and practice than last season?
No, we're continuing to focus on speed and again, just the intention behind everything that we're doing.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a good season.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question would be, what can we expect from you this season?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to work hard and build off my past successes from last season, and I'm focusing on improving with each meet. And my end goal is to make it to the state meet in June and hopefully be one of the top finishers in the 400.
That sounds great. Yeah, so you also did track your last 2 years, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so how will you compare from last season?
Yeah, so this season feels a lot more focused. I'm more experienced. I have more confidence, and I have higher expectations for myself.
I love that. I also like about last season, what have you done to improve yourself from that?
Yeah, so I've done lots of off-season work, and including training with a club team, so that's definitely helped me be stronger this season, and all that off-season training has helped me build a solid foundation. And now that season's here, I'll continue working on my speed to hopefully improve times this season as it goes on.
That's great. Okay, so last but not least, I want to ask you, which events are you running this season?
So yeah, my main event is the 400, but I also like competing in the 200, and I'm also part of our team's 4x400 relay. I like the challenge of individual races, and it's fun being part of a team and contributing.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck this season, and goodbye! Excited to see what the rest of the track season brings, girls. On Thursday, April 23rd, the Wildcats track team competed in the John Clement Invitational. Junior Dylan McDonald took 3rd place in the 100-meter dash with a time of 11.01 seconds. Senior Carter Crow finished first in a 1600-meter run, clocking in at 4:39.26. Sophomore Dominic Moore placed 5th in the 3200-meter run with a time of 10:06.69. In the relays, the 4x100-meter team consisting of junior Dylan McDonald, junior Carson Jowinski, senior Joey Ware, and freshman Carter Schmidt captured 1st place. In the 1600-meter sprint medley relay, the team of freshmen Grant Kettenhofen, junior Ethan Bowman, and freshman Brandon DeVoy and senior Juan Collins finished in the 4th place. Additionally, in the men's pole vault, sophomore Colton Searles cleared 13 feet 3 inches to secure a 2nd place finish, kicking it over to girls soccer.
On Thursday, April 23rd, the girls' soccer team drove around Bago to take on the Ships of Manitowoc Lincoln, suffering a hard loss 4-1. Then the Wildcats stayed home playing their first installment in the Battle of Oshkosh. They took home a decisive win against Lourdes Academy with goals from Riley Coppernell, Casey Williams, and Ava Palmer, with 2 assists coming from Brooklyn Kufel. Looks like the Wildcats found a way to pierce through the Knights' armor. The Wildcats look to face the Appleton West Terriers and Bayport Pirates the rest of this week. Good luck, girls. That's all we have for you here today at the Wildcat Rewind. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and go Wildcats!